Did you hear that El Christian track? Yeah, I heard it. Honestly, I think the young man said exactly what needed to be said. No matter what, that's still his father. This isn't just rap talk, this is legacy being played with. And when you really sit back and watch people trying to start beef during a time like this, it feels calculated. Everybody knows they're going through something heavy right now, probably a space they haven't been in for years. So in that sense, I respect him for stepping up. Did he completely snap on the record? Maybe not. The delivery felt a little too calm, too controlled. But that's his natural style, and I'm not mad at it. Still, in a rap battle, if you're coming that smooth, then every line has to hit hard and feel unforgettable. I'm not sure it reached that level for everyone. And of course, once the track dropped, people came right back talking again. That's how it always goes. But beyond the music, I salute El Christian because he did what a son is supposed to do. He stood beside his father when people were coming at the family. Honestly, I'm more surprised it took this long for him to speak up. At the end of the day, if anybody is supposed to defend me when the world starts talking, it better be my son. So I completely understand his motivation. Respect to El Christian for putting that track out and standing on family business. Honestly, I would have done the exact same thing. If somebody was coming at my pops, I'd step in too. That's why I understand why Justin was on that track. At the end of the day, that's his father people are talking about. Now the real question is, should Puff have let that song be released? Some people say by allowing it, he put his kids directly in the line of fire. But let's be real, they were already in the line of fire. People were already talking, already throwing shots, already bringing the family into the conversation. So what really changed? Sometimes when everyone around you is making noise, staying silent can look weak. If nothing else, speak up. Let your voice be heard. Stand for your people. Now when it comes to 50 Cent and Diddy, this tension didn't start today. Those two go way back. Over the years, they've had their share of beef, jabs, and back and forth moments. Their relationship has always been a wild roller coaster. But let's talk about Christian Combs for a second. He's been trying to build his own lane in the music industry, dropping tracks, performing, and carrying himself with confidence just like his father. Some people say he's got the same hustle, the same swagger, and that same boss energy. Still, 50 Cent doesn't look impressed. He's been watching every move, and when 50 has something to say, he says it loud. He's never been the type to stay quiet, and now it looks like he's ready to turn the pressure up once again. Meanwhile, Christian sounds fired up. He's speaking like somebody tired of hearing the family name dragged through the mud. He's standing 10 toes down, making it clear that disrespect won't go unanswered, whether people like it or not. He's showing the world he's ready for whatever comes next. He's making it clear there's no weakness around him. He's laid back, moving smooth, living that luxury life, while outsiders keep trying to paint a different picture. People act like raids and rumors define everything, but in reality they're out here selling music, building success, and collecting multi-million-dollar plaques. He'd rather put everything on wax than entertain gossip, because all that talk is cheap. Then he throws another sharp line, reminding everyone who really helped put the city on the map when others had nothing to say. That's the kind of energy being brought into this situation. Now the streets are buzzing about 50 Cent going after Christian Combs, and nobody is surprised. 50 never misses a chance to speak his mind, especially when social media is involved. He mocked Christian, saying he acts too much like his father, and that sparked a whole new wave of drama people can't stop talking about. If you know 50, then you know trolling is one of his favorite weapons. He came back exactly how everyone expected, laughing, joking, and throwing shade. But sometimes people laugh while sending serious messages. That's why some folks aren't taking it lightly. Others say 50 didn't go too far this time, more like playful trolling than full attack mode. But everyone knows 50 can switch gears at any moment. 1 minute it's jokes, the next minute it's pressure. That's why people keep watching this story so closely. At the same time, Christian isn't standing alone. He's got people around him, real ones who would ride with him if things ever got serious. So while the internet enjoys the entertainment, Both sides know there's real pride and loyalty behind the scenes. This whole situation feels bigger than just jokes and music now. It's about family, respect, reputation, and who's willing to stand tall when the spotlight gets hot. When Uncle Murda drops that yearly rap recap, everybody pays attention. Takes a different kind of confidence to mention so many names at once, because when you call out multiple people, you can attract a lot of heat. That kind of move can build pressure fast. But that's also why people respect it. It's bold, fearless, and entertaining. I remember hearing one of those year-end recaps and thinking it was wild. The bars were crazy, the energy was intense, and it had everybody talking. Then later, when they finally crossed paths in person, Uncle Murda walked right up like nothing happened and asked, "We good? You're not mad at me, right?" That says a lot. Sometimes what sounds like beef in music is really just business and competition. That face-to-face energy was different. No drama, no tension, just checking the temperature and keeping it moving. It showed that not everything in rap needs to turn personal. Now when it comes to 50 Cent and Christian, people keep asking why 50 is coming at him this way. Some believe Christian has been moving a little too close to circles connected to 50. And everyone knows 50 is protective about his lane and the people around him. Others think this has less to do with Christian himself and more to do with Diddy. Since 50 and Diddy have had tension for years, some people see this as another way for 50 to throw shots at an old rival by targeting someone close to him. But let's be honest. 50 is simply a master at being 50. He knows how to troll, how to stay relevant, and how to keep people talking without doing too much. That's a skill by itself. Still, even jokes can go too far if they keep happening. Eventually, somebody can hit the right nerve or say the wrong thing, and then the whole vibe changes. So while things may still look playful on the surface, everyone knows situations like this can turn serious quickly. For now, it seems like Christian is trying to keep it respectful and keep everything in the music. But in this game, one wrong line can change everything. The problem is, all it takes is one wrong piece of information, one reckless comment, or one personal line crossing the boundary. Once family members get mentioned, especially someone's mother or private matters, everything can change fast. There are already heavy accusations and serious rumors floating around, so emotions are already high. And if somebody says the exact wrong thing at the wrong time, King Combs might respond in a way that pushes buttons right back. You never know. People forget he's not a kid anymore. He's a grown man living his own life, making money, moving how he wants, enjoying success, and standing on his own. That's why people shouldn't assume he'll always stay quiet. Sometimes all it takes is one disrespectful move, one line that touches somebody personally, and suddenly the whole level changes. Things that looked like jokes can become real tension overnight. People also underestimate younger people. Sometimes they can hit harder with words than your own peers because they'll say things straight with no filter. And to be clear, King Combs isn't a child at all. He's a full-grown man handling business in the spotlight. So if the energy ever shifts into real aggression, don't think the older generation won't respond either. Somebody like 50 Cent could easily decide the joking phase is over and step in directly. What started as trolling online could quickly turn into serious face-to-face energy. That's what makes this whole situation interesting. Right now it may still look like entertainment, laughs, and internet drama. But underneath that, there's pride, ego, family loyalty, and real emotions involved. Then the conversation flips into humor, with someone joking about calling 50 directly. Like, "Let me call Curtis right now and see what he says." That moment lightens the mood, but it also reminds everyone just how connected and unpredictable this world can be. At the end of the day, one call, one comment, or one wrong line could shift everything. The call ends with pure humor. He makes it clear, "Vlad doesn't really interview me," then laughs it off and says the message was simple, "Keep my name out your mouth." Everybody starts laughing, and the whole room feels lighter for a moment. But underneath the jokes, the tension is still there. Because no matter how funny that moment was, the reality is 50 Cent seems locked in. And now Christian Combs is right in the spotlight. The streets are watching closely, waiting to see what happens next. Will Christian fire back again? Will Diddy step in and handle things himself? One thing is certain, This drama is only getting hotter. Then the conversation shifts to King Combs' diss record, where he was taking shots at 50 and anyone speaking on his father. Some people respected the loyalty. Others felt he stepped into dangerous territory. One speaker gave the young man credit, but also offered a warning. He basically said this new generation talks too freely, saying bold things without fully understanding the consequences. In his view, certain lines should never be crossed, especially when dealing with grown men who come from a different era. The message was clear: don't jump into grown man business unless you're ready for grown man consequences. Some people believe you shouldn't send a young artist to fight battles that older men created. That kind of pressure can become too heavy, too fast. Then comes the bigger question. Did King Combs want that attention, or was he pushed into it by loyalty to his father? Maybe it was both. Family pride can make people move fast, especially when they feel their name is under attack. At the end of the day, this situation is no longer just music. It's becoming a test of pride, respect, loyalty, and who's truly ready for the smoke when words turn real. Let's be honest, if you're looking for that kind of attention, 50 Cent is probably the wrong person to go after. He's built a reputation for turning every situation into pressure, jokes, and headlines. As Waka Flocka once said, that man goes hard in the paint. Once he locks in, he doesn't usually let up. That's why some people couldn't believe certain moves were even made. They felt stepping into that lane without a solid strategy was a mistake from the start. Then came the moment everybody started talking about. 50 took the situation straight to Instagram, the place where he knows how to stir chaos better than almost anyone. He posted a side-by-side photo of Christian Combs and Diddy, then dropped a caption implying Christian was just a mini version of his father. Same style, same swagger, same everything. But questioning whether the talent matched. That post exploded instantly. The shade was obvious, and people flooded the comments. Some defended Christian, saying he deserves respect and his own lane. Others were entertained by 50's ruthless trolling and couldn't stop laughing. Even celebrities started reacting, adding emojis and comments as the internet turned the whole thing into trending drama. That's what 50 does best. He knows how to control the spotlight. Christian didn't respond right away. He stayed quiet for a moment, probably thinking through his next move. Then he answered in a different way, posting himself looking sharp and making one thing clear: I'm my own man. That was a clean response without saying too much. Then the conversation shifted toward the raids and investigations. People started pointing out that it wasn't just one city involved. There were reports and discussions about actions in multiple places, which made the whole story feel much bigger than rap beef or internet jokes. One former law enforcement voice stepped in and explained how serious these operations can be. He talked about different agencies working together. Federal teams, city police, corrections, and state officers all coordinating in one place. When that many departments move together, it usually means something major is happening behind the scenes. At that point, this story stopped being just entertainment. It became something much deeper, with real consequences attached. People don't always understand how these investigations work behind the scenes. There are rooms filled wall to wall with computers, officers from different departments, and teams constantly monitoring information. Whoever is assigned to a case is watching everything: online posts, interviews, comments, reactions, all of it. So when people think certain actions are harmless or petty, they may be missing the bigger picture. If something gets posted publicly, chances are someone involved in the case has already seen it and reported it up the chain. Nothing important really goes unnoticed. That's why one speaker used a powerful phrase: don't agitate a lion with a pork chop. In other words, don't provoke powerful people or dangerous situations for no reason. He felt the younger generation was making moves without understanding how serious the consequences could become. Then the focus shifts back to Diddy. Some people believe he played a role in keeping attention on himself, especially after being seen publicly smiling at cameras with Stevie J. Critics say moments like that only added fuel to the fire. Others argue he simply can't stay away from the spotlight. They believe he needs public attention so badly that even during controversy, he still chooses to be seen outside where cameras are waiting. The criticism gets even sharper when people say there won't be any sympathy from the public. In their eyes, the damage is already done, and no public appearance or symbolic gesture is going to change how many people feel now. Then the conversation turns serious, bringing up past tragedies and unresolved pain. Some believe apologies are owed for old situations that changed lives forever. That's where the emotions become deeper than headlines or celebrity gossip. Finally, speculation starts about whether he could disappear from the spotlight entirely or leave the country like others have done in controversial times. But with an open federal investigation, many doubt that kind of move would be simple or even possible. At this point, the story feels less like entertainment and more like a situation with real legal pressure, real reputations at stake, and no clear ending in sight. Right now, Diddy seems to be keeping a low profile, probably trying to stay away from more drama. But everyone knows one thing: when it comes to his son, he likely has his back no matter what. That's why the streets are watching closely, wondering if he'll eventually break his silence and respond to 50 Cent. Meanwhile, 50 looks completely comfortable in the chaos. He appears to be enjoying every second of it, sitting back and watching the internet react. Then he adds more fuel by posting again, saying he's only speaking facts. That kind of confidence, or arrogance depending on how you see it, is exactly why people keep paying attention. Now the biggest question becomes, will Christian prove 50 wrong and show he's more than just Diddy's shadow? Or will this whole situation drag 50 and Diddy back into their old beef once again? Right now, every possibility feels open. Then the story takes another major turn. After disturbing surveillance footage involving Diddy and his ex surfaced, reports began growing about a documentary project moving forward. Suddenly, what once sounded like internet trolling started becoming reality. Media insiders explained that many people originally thought 50 Cent was joking when he kept mentioning a documentary. Anyone who follows him knows he trolls often, throws jokes online, and loves stirring reactions. So when he kept taking shots and saying he was working on a project, many assumed it wasn't serious. But it turns out the project was real. Reports say it was being developed under 50's production company, which has already created successful content before. Multiple streaming platforms were reportedly interested, and eventually a major deal was reached. Now people are expecting the documentary to release in the future, though no exact date has been confirmed. If that happens, the attention around this feud could grow even bigger. And let's not forget, 50 and Diddy have had tension for years. They once had business ties long ago, but those days are clearly over. Since then, 50 has rarely missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly. With Diddy facing heavy controversy right now, many feel he's not in a strong position to respond. That's why 50 keeps applying pressure while public sympathy appears very low. But beyond all the headlines, another question remains. How much of this will impact Christian Combs and his future in the long run? The tension in this situation keeps rising, and people are now asking a serious question. Is this the moment that changes everything for Christian, or the moment that defines his downfall? Nobody really knows, but one thing is clear. Things are getting more complicated by the minute. Then the conversation shifts to some even more controversial claims. Orlando Brown made comments suggesting that Diddy would not end up in jail. When asked about it, the discussion turned into speculation and confusion, with people trying to understand where that idea even comes from. Some voices argue that in situations like this, nothing is ever simple. There are always deeper layers, hidden motives, and unanswered questions. People start asking why certain things are said, why certain narratives appear, and who might benefit from them. Others push the idea that financial pressure and legal fear can lead people to make extreme choices. But these are just opinions and speculation being thrown into an already chaotic conversation. Then the discussion becomes even more chaotic, with claims circulating about alleged underground markets and so-called hidden networks. These stories are being repeated online, but they remain unverified and highly controversial, adding even more confusion to an already sensitive situation. At the same time, Some people point out how dangerous it is when internet rumors mix with serious allegations. Once that happens, separating fact from fiction becomes almost impossible. There's also frustration being expressed about how quickly narratives spread online, especially when they involve celebrities and serious accusations. People question what is real, what is exaggerated, and what is completely made up. In the middle of all this, emotions are running high, and the conversation continues to spiral between speculation, shock, and concern. But at its core, the situation reminds everyone how quickly public perception can shift, and how once a story starts moving, it becomes very hard to control where it ends. People often bring up movies like Hostel and start asking a disturbing question. Do places like that actually exist in real life? The response is usually straightforward. There are situations and environments in the real world that are far darker than what most people imagine. That's why these conversations always feel unsettling, because fiction sometimes makes people wonder about reality. But the discussion quickly shifts again, and emotions start running high. The speaker begins talking about people they know personally and the responsibility they feel toward them over the years. The tone becomes more personal, more intense, and more reflective. Meanwhile, the fallout from 50 Cent's viral Instagram posts targeting Christian Combs is still growing. People online are speculating non-stop about what this could mean for Christian's career and how it might impact Diddy's business reputation in the long run. The conversation has clearly moved beyond social media jokes. It's now part of a much larger narrative. Then things take a sharp and controversial turn as more shocking and unverified claims enter the discussion. Stories are being shared involving alleged trafficking, exploitation, and hidden activities connected to powerful names. However, it's important to understand that these are allegations and claims being circulated in conversation, not confirmed facts. The narrative being described becomes increasingly graphic and sensitive, involving disturbing accusations about how certain individuals may have been recruited or transported through deceptive means. These kinds of stories are highly controversial and should be treated carefully, as they often spread online without verification. As the discussion continues, it becomes a mix of speculation, rumor, and outrage. Some parts reference music industry environments, video shoots, and claims about how individuals were later placed in different situations. But again, these are part of circulating narratives that remain unverified. At this stage, the conversation is no longer just about celebrity drama or rap feuds. It has turned into a web of allegations, fear, and speculation that reflects how quickly online discussions can spiral into extreme territory. The conversation continues in a very intense and emotional direction, with the speaker reflecting on experiences involving travel, unfamiliar environments, and interactions with strangers. He describes moments where people only begin to open up once they feel safe, sometimes revealing thoughts or emotions in vulnerable ways. The tone is heavy, almost like he's trying to process something deeply personal and difficult. He then connects these reflections to disturbing stories circulating online, where individuals appear in videos after allegedly going through traumatic experiences. The discussion becomes sensitive and emotionally charged, focusing on pain, survival, and the psychological impact of extreme situations. These claims are part of broader online narratives and should be understood as unverified conversations rather than confirmed facts. Meanwhile, the public attention shifts back to Christian Combs. He breaks his silence again with a short, cryptic message on Instagram, saying he's focused on his music, his singing, and his personal journey, and that he has no time for negativity. However, instead of calming things down, the post seems to intensify the speculation. Fans immediately start debating what his message really means. Some believe he's simply trying to rise above the drama and stay focused on his career. Others wonder if there is more happening behind the scenes than what he's willing to say publicly. The uncertainty keeps the conversation alive and constantly evolving. The discussion then shifts again into darker reflections about how witnessing extreme violence or traumatic events can permanently affect a person's mindset. The speaker suggests that seeing such things in real life can change how someone views humanity, creating a psychological divide between empathy and emotional detachment. At this point, The conversation becomes less about celebrity drama and more about the long-lasting impact of trauma, perception, and how deeply human experiences can reshape a person's thinking. The conversation then shifts toward Justin Bieber, with the speaker referencing circulating images and online discussions about his emotional state. They compare him to past young stars in the industry, suggesting a pattern where young talent faces intense pressure and public scrutiny. In their view, what's happening now is part of a larger cycle involving fame, influence, and control in the entertainment world. They go further, claiming there is evidence of similar situations happening repeatedly across different generations of artists. The tone becomes increasingly emotional and speculative, focusing on the idea that young performers often experience things the public may never fully understand behind the scenes. Then the discussion drifts into more controversial territory, involving allegations about industry figures and how young artists are introduced into powerful circles. However, these claims are part of ongoing online narratives and should not be taken as verified facts, as they reflect opinion and speculation rather than confirmed evidence. The speaker then reflects on the idea of witnessing extreme human behavior and how it can change someone's perception of reality. They suggest that encountering violence or trauma up close can deeply affect how a person views others, sometimes blurring emotional boundaries and human empathy. At the same time, they mention experiencing what they describe as devil-like behavior in people during extreme situations. This is presented as a personal perspective shaped by past experiences, not a factual or universal claim. Meanwhile, Diddy remains silent publicly throughout all of this. He hasn't issued any response to the ongoing discussion or the controversy surrounding his name. Still, the speaker suggests that behind the scenes, emotions are likely running high. They believe Diddy is extremely protective of his family and reputation, especially when it comes to his son being mentioned in public conversations like this. However, the big question remains unanswered. Will he directly respond, or will he handle the situation in a more indirect, controlled way? At this point, the story continues to build tension, with no clear resolution in sight. The speaker describes a moment where, in their words, a person completely loses control of themselves, almost as if they are no longer aware of their actions or identity. They frame it as a psychological state where awareness seems to disappear, leaving only instinct or something they struggle to explain. They then share a deeply disturbing personal account involving extreme trauma and violence, describing the experience as one where they no longer perceive the attacker as human in that moment. This part of the discussion is extremely sensitive, reflecting intense emotional trauma and personal perspective rather than a general or factual claim. From that point, the speaker shifts into a broader reflection, suggesting that if every artist or individual who has experienced harm reacted violently or sought personal revenge, the consequences in society would be devastating. The implication is a warning about cycles of violence and retaliation. The conversation then transitions toward the music industry and past controversies involving well-known figures. Names and situations are referenced in connection with unresolved public discussions and allegations, with the speaker expressing a belief that certain incidents should have been investigated more thoroughly and openly. They emphasize the idea that some cases were never fully questioned or examined in their view, suggesting frustration over accountability and transparency. The tone becomes more reflective, focusing on justice, unanswered questions, and the lingering impact of unresolved stories in the entertainment world. At its core, the segment moves between personal trauma, moral reflection, and broader criticism of how serious allegations are handled in public discourse. The discussion then turns toward allegations and circulating claims involving high-profile incidents and people in the entertainment industry. The speaker raises questions about why certain situations would require confidentiality agreements or non-disclosure agreements, suggesting that in their view, it creates suspicion when transparency is limited. These are presented as personal opinions and speculation, not confirmed facts. At the same time, the conversation shifts back to how ongoing public disputes and controversies might impact Christian's career. As a newcomer in the music industry, he is seen as being in a very sensitive position. Some believe that involvement in high-profile drama could increase his visibility and street credibility, while others argue it could also damage his long-term growth and reputation if he becomes too closely associated with conflict. The speaker then continues questioning different events and scenarios, focusing heavily on the idea of why certain information would be restricted if everything was purely accidental. They express frustration and confusion, repeatedly asking why legal or private agreements would be necessary in situations that are claimed to be straightforward. The conversation becomes more speculative as additional references are made to unrelated historical events and financial outcomes, with the speaker suggesting that certain people may have benefited from chaos or unexpected incidents. These statements reflect opinion and speculation being shared in a highly emotional and controversial context. Further commentary touches on well-known figures in the industry, questioning business decisions, collaborations, and financial outcomes in past creative projects. The tone suggests skepticism and disagreement over how certain careers and opportunities were handled. Overall, this segment blends entertainment industry drama, legal speculation, and personal opinion, creating a narrative filled with unanswered questions, assumptions, and emotionally charged interpretations.